we went to church. We didn't have a car. We had horses, and they'd hook up a wagon, and we'd ride in a wagon to church. Now, sometimes when they'd have reunion at Matthew's church where Mom and Dad went, once a year we'd go. We just got to go one time a year to church. They'd eat out on the ground, and they had an arbor in behind the church. It didn't have tables under it. It had a platform where they preached and benches. I can remember walking around this spring. Said it was a deep spring. Boy, the Lord sure did watch after us, because I couldn't swim if I would have fell in there. It was a deep spring. You could get water, and they had cement around it, and we would walk around there. But I remember that when we would go, and then some of the Mom's people and all of them would have me and Mary to stand up because we was twins. I remember that. I used to dread that. But he did. He read the Bible every night. And some nights I missed, but I try to. And I can sleep a lot better when I read. My Bible, it just gives me a joy to know that I'm reading the Word of God. He did. He read the Bible by lamp every night. And I can remember we'd spend all night with Grandpa. Mom's dad was still living then. We'd spend all night and we'd sleep on pallets at their house, on quilts. They called them pallets, but it was quilts put down on the floor and a pillow, and we slept there. I never did see my grandpa on Dad's side because he took pneumonia when my daddy was in service. He said he was 19 when he passed away. I never did see him, and my mother's mother, I never did see her. I don't know what happened to her. I can't remember Mom telling what happened, but I seen my grandfather on my mother's side. Yeah, and I remember when Dot was born, because I was 10 years old when Dot was born. I remember that now. They never did talk about anybody being pregnant, so we just didn't know, or didn't notice or something. I don't know what. When my first memory, I guess when I went to school. I can't remember back before I started to school, and I didn't like school. Mom would make us fried ham and stickies. I don't know where you've ever heard of them or not, but she put butter and sugar and rolled them up in a thing and baked them in the oven, and we'd carry them. And anyway, I was in the first grade, and this boy had a cracker, peanut butter on crackers, and I had never seen a cracker before. I really had never seen a cracker, and I hadn't tasted peanut butter. I traded with him that big old ham biscuit. Oh my, and she always made good ham biscuit for a peanut butter cracker sandwich. And the teacher called us. I remember that now. I remember that. She called us. I forgot what she done. That was my first remember, and had a rough time going to school. People made fun of you because we wore welfare dresses and coats, and kids knew what they looked like, and they would make fun of us. That's the best. I mean, they done the best they could do. We never did go hungry, and we had clothes. I thank the Lord now for welfare clothes that we had. Well, Mom would make some. You used to get flour in these sacks that have cloth sacks, and sometimes she'd make a dress for us, but most of them wore those welfare clothes. And them coats was brown corduroy, and I've never liked brown corduroy since. I wouldn't never buy one because it'd remind me of people making, and a green corduroy. That learned me to be thankful for things, and the Lord sure has blessed me triple time, because it really learns you to be thankful when you have to grow up like that. But there's 11 children of us, and that was a hard time. We didn't get nothing. I said when I get to heaven, I want to meet that janitor. He was a black man, and he was so kind, because they used to jump rope back then. You know, they'd have these long ropes, and you'd stand in line to jump rope. And when me and Mary would get there, the thing had stopped turning, and we'd go off to the steps. They had big old steps there, and I remember a lot of times crying there at that step. And that a man, janitor, seen us, and he would give us a penny, and you could buy a BB bat back then. They'd be on top of each other for a penny, and it's large, and we'd get that. He'd give that to us, and that's the only candy we would get, only at Christmas. For Christmas, we would get an orange and a great big peppermint, straight peppermint candy. It was large. It was bigger than your thumb. I remember that. It was large, or to us, it would look large. We'd get orange and a peppermint candy. But Mom kept sweet stuff. She made those stickies, and she'd make cookies and stuff. We had sweets. We just didn't have bottle sweets. I never had seen a Coke or nothing. I never seen a Coke, or Mary hadn't either. We went back to it was Lula, my sister-in-law's house. We went back there to play with her daughter, and they had a Coke, and they told us that now we had never seen a Coca-Cola before, and they said, now you have to shake this before you open it. And we shook that thing, and it went all over, and all over us, and her daddy just died of laughing. I remember that so well. I'll never forget that. I just tickled him to death because we shook that thing, and it went everywhere. Oh boy. That's part of my growing up, but I don't blame my parents, because they done the best they could do, and I'm thankful it learned us all the lessons. And I'll never forget, my dad always would go up to the mantle where the lamp was at and read the Bible every night and pray. And every one of us children got saved before they passed away. So God was good to us. He looked after us, and I'm so thankful.